at the same time. So I just need to finish that up and then we'll start the live. All right. I am live on 2 different devices here. I am live on both YouTube and TikTok today. And I am Carol, the owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com. And CarolJo's is my business that I own and run. What it is that we do lots of fun things here on social media. I actually don't promote my jewelry and accessories as much here as we do other things with it. Like we go live twice a week where we do chats. So if you guys have things you want to discuss about making jewelry, running a small business, that type of thing, we talk about all those in our chat times. We had those earlier in the week. And then we do sales on TikTok only throughout the week. We have like basket sales, which is where someone claimed items but didn't pay the invoice. So we're bringing them back up for sale. We do bring back where we had items we had on a live before that didn't sell out like 6 months ago. Hello, AJ's Beaded Path. How are you? We bring those back and bring them back up for you guys to grab them. We also do like silicone sales. So it would be anything for making silicone jewelry, accessories, and that type of thing. And then we have bead sales. We do have a bead sale tonight on TikTok at 7 p.m. Central, where we have some really cool items tonight. We have zircon beads. They're cubic zirconia in 3mm. We're faceted around. So I'm excited about that tonight. We also have tutorials twice a week. Today is a tutorial. Earlier we made earrings earlier in the week. Hi, Rainbow. And today we are going to do the silicone star tutorial, and we're making it into a keychain. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this star. So the things that you're going to need for supplies is a keychain. I use a swivel keychain. We use a split ring. Why did that name go out of my head? I am using 15mm beads here that are silicone rounds, and you'll need the thread or the cord. I'm using a 1.5mm cord. Hi, Murda. So that's what you're going to need for supplies. For tools, what you're going to need is, I will use the knot grippers. I use those because my hands aren't as strong as they used to be. And so I do like those. We will also use our little torch lighter, and I will be using the loop turners. You can do this project with just one if you want. I just grabbed 2 when I was grabbing them out of there. And then, like I said, we're going to have the cord when I was talking about the supplies. We're going to do the 1.5. And then I'm going to grab my split ring and my lobster claw clasps on a swivel. I ordered it on the Zon. But it doesn't come, they come empty of butane. It's a butane little light torch. And so you have to get cans of butane to fill them up. And it was really funny because I thought, oh, I'm going to buy a 3-pack because I'll probably go through it. I go to my husband. I'm like, will you fill this up with, here's what the cans look like. This. And he's like, why did you even buy that? I have a whole bunch out in the shop. I'm like, I didn't know. I don't know all your tools out there. Yeah. Hi, Rose. If you want to save your nails opening a split ring, I use the split ring tool. All you do for that is you take this part that's notched down here and put it in there, and then put your ring or your lobster clasp on there at the swivel spot. I know it wasn't that, I didn't think it was that expensive. I don't know how much it, I mean, I probably spent less than $20 for all of it. All right, and today, nope, I just got on. I got on late because, and I was going to tell you guys, sorry I was running late, but I don't know why this bag has 2 stickers for the name on it. We'll put one on my pop. We'll figure it out. We're going to use Sea Breeze for our color. But the reason why I was late, thank you, Kyle and Heather, for the following. Ryan while I was on my little retreat for my stuff, he sat his phone on the pickup bed because he got done talking with somebody. He went to put something in the bed of the truck. Drove down the road with his phone on there, and the phone screen cracked, but he just put a new screen protector and was like, oh, it's good. Yeah, it's completely black now 2 weeks later. So we spent 3 hours at the cell phone store. And we're still not done. We left it and came home so I could do my live. So thank you. Do you have any website for this project? What I do, I'm sorry I didn't see all the comments over on YouTube. I don't have the beads on my website. You would have to come over to TikTok and purchase them there. We are starting to put some things out for like the tools and such. Next week, I should have the tools out there. Oh, yep, nope. What I have out on my website right now is the jewelry. So, and accessories. So like if I were to want to sell this finished item would be out there. But the beads and the supplies to make it are not there. Oh, okay. Well, just keep following and go out to the website. Next week, I will have more items out there. We're going to slowly start putting some more stuff out into the website. See, buying a new car wasn't as bad for Ryan. Did you know what he said to me while we were waiting for all this? He goes, going to a dentist is better than going to the cell phone store. We had this new phone picked out within 5 minutes. It was them trying to transfer everything. Yeah. And you have to understand, Ryan just went to the dentist last week and had a tooth pulled, and it was miserable for him. So for him to say that means it's not a good experience. I am going to point you all down so you can see what I'm doing. All I did was I took, and right now I have 20 of the silicone beads that are called Sea Breeze on my desk, and I think I need a little bit more, but we're going to be making away, and I will get another one if I need it. So here we go. Yeah, he was a big baby at that too. And I do not have my backup account, everybody, so I am not going to be able to see comments unless I go grab it quick. So hold on. I'm going to grab that so I can see comments easier. And I can only see comments for TikTok. I won't be able to see comments at all for YouTube. Sorry, everybody. All right, I'm going to bring it up. So you guys are looking at my beads that we have available here. I'm going to switch my account to the backup account on here, and then I'll get going. The first thing I am going to do is I am going to cut off a piece of the cord. The nylon cord is 1.5 for the diameter. The amount that I'm going to use, I used 30 inches to make this one, and it was getting close to the end of probably not having enough. So I'm going to up it to 32 inches of cord. Oh, geez. I forgot to say anything about that. I just noticed. If we get 10 shares and 10,000 likes, everybody, we will do giveaways, okay? So there's 18 and 14. That makes 32. Let me cut that off. All right, we got that. So now I got the hiccups. I have my cord. I usually just pull my cord because it's wound up here on the spool. So I just do this to kind of get it out. I'm going to take 10 beads and put them on my loop turner. These are 15 millimeter silicones. You can do whatever, you can do 12 millimeter if you want. There is 5. It'll just be a smaller keychain. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I was going to say, I tried this with lentils and abacuses, and it just didn't work as well as it does with the rounds. But if you guys can get this figured out, better than I did with a different shape of bead, please let me know. Now, what I did here, let me explain, is here on the hook, this is called a loop turner, and it has like what I call like the latch hook thing, where you have a little hook here, and then you have a little latch that you shut. So you're going to take the end of your nylon cord, see it's at the end, just put it around there, and then put that hook or the latch down. Turn your things upside down. On the outside, go ahead and grab those beads and push it down onto the cord. This makes putting items of the silicone beads onto the cord a lot easier than it would be if you tried to individually put them on. But what you want to be careful of is when you're going down that you're on the outside and not the inside, because you can come down and this can go up, and then this little piece here can jab into your finger. And what I mean by that is that little hook there can jab into your finger and it doesn't feel good. All right. Now I'm putting my two ends together, and I'm trying to find the center and put all my beads together. Now before I start my knot, I am going to take the end, put it around my finger, pull it off my finger. I take the end of the cord, go through that center twice, and then just pull it down to the end and create a knot. We're going to do the same thing on this end, around my finger, pull it off. The end goes through that circle twice and create a knot. There we go. That's going to be used for the knot gripper. I am just going to tie a normal knot and get it as close together as possible. And then do it again, but don't get it so close that you're getting it all knotted together. If you notice, it is down there. And then I'm going to grab my knot grippers. I am going to wrap the cord around my knot gripper on one side, and we're going to do it on the second side. Now, I'm going to get this all tight in there, but I'm not pulling it extremely tight until I grab my knot grippers, and I'm undoing this one. So let me get it back on there. There we go. There we go. And now pull really hard, and you will hear and feel when that is like really tight. All right, now we need to cut off our knots. All right, we got our 10 shares, everybody. Now we just need to work on getting our 10,000. Now we are going to, when you look at this, this is just like head on. If I were to turn it like this is what I'm going to see when it's head on. Do you see how naturally one side of your knot with that extra cord goes this way and the other goes the opposite way? They don't go the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my loop turner, go through the bead right next to it, grab my cord that's going that way, and we're going to pull it through one bead. And then pull it tight. When you pull it tight, it hides your knot. So your knot is now hidden in the center of this bead. We're going to take our loop turner, add 3 beads, and on this one, we are going to add our cord and add these 3 beads. That's what we want to create, is that little star. But we want to leave this one in the middle here, and I want this cord to go through this bead here. How I do that is I come in with my loop turner back towards where my work is at, in that one bead. We're going to put our cord in there, and then we're going to bring it down, pulling it really tight and getting those in there. There we go. Do you see how that worked? So we've got this one is our skipped one. We're going to put 3 more beads on our loop turner. 1, 2, 3. Put those 3 beads on our cord. Pull that down. We're going to leave the center one, and we're going to go through this one back to pull the cord through. So we're going to do that here. Grab our cord. And then pull that through. Hi there, potato. And pull that tight. So now we got 2 parts of our star. Or if you've seen where they've had the animal with the ears, it's that same concept. All right. But we want more than just the 2. We want a total of 4. Yes, I did. I sure did. And then I'll hold that like you asked. Now I'm going to hold this one over here for a minute. If you noticed, we hid our knot in this one. So this one will be our skip one. And we want to go in here and then skip that one. So I got to think about this for a moment. I have to remember how I did it. So it is, I need to put my 3 beads on. Yep, tonight I will be live. The beads that I will have tonight, just so y'all know, is I'll have the cubic zircon 3mm round. So we have our 3 beads, and we're going to push that down. I will have, they're sitting right next to me. We have a skull and the crossbones, a pendant. We will have some of the textured silver chain. We have tiger eye chips. We have a bag of 12mm acrylic beads in mixed color. We have 3 different colors of glass pearl that are 10mm, so that if you wanted, you could make these earrings. We have some different glass that we have available, and then we'll have those cubic zirconia at the end. All right, so that was our skip. We're going to skip this middle one here, and we're going to go back through this one. So I need to get my loop turner through that one and go back over, grab my cord. Awesome. Whoops. That was the phone, the store calling me. Ryan's phone must be done. All right. There we go. We pulled that tight. We've got that one. Now we're going to add 3 more beads. I need to get another bag of beads out. Okay. We're going to add these 3. To our cord. Put those on. Go leave the 1 bead here, and we're going to come through this one. So we go this way. And we're going to go through. There we go. And pull this one tight. There we go. You just have to finagle it. I don't know another way than that, the word. Now, we're here. If you notice, we have 4 parts to our star. We need to add our top one, which the middle bead is right here, and we have our 2 cords on each side of it. We need to have these 3 beads put on there and our closure that we're going to use for it. If you notice, you can't put the closure at the top because there's no hole here at the top. So what you do is you just have it off to one side or the other side. Now how I did this was I did 1 bead onto my cord. Then you take your swivel, go through this one, then grab your two again, add that to this. And remember, we want it here. That means I have to go back through this way to get that. So let me go through this bead here, which will be kind of hard because we also have our other one right, there we go. There we go, we got it. We want to make sure we're not getting that one in there. And that's the hard part. So we're going to take that and we are going to pull that through and pull that tight. And I had to, and I didn't say this as a tool, sorry. I ended up, to get everything tight here at the end, I ended up grabbing, because this isn't that long, I grabbed a pair of flat nose pliers just to pull. There we go. This is our piece that we're not dealing with. We're dealing with this piece here. So now what I need to do is I need to try not to, I got to get this up a little bit, I think. Hi, Diane. I just saw your comment. Sorry. There we go. Around your finger, underneath your beads, so he's underneath, then you're going to come up and put that cord through that center hole. There we go. And we're going to grab our pliers and we are going to pull that really hard. And we've got the knot right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this bead right here in the middle. And I'm going to pull that through. This way we can end up hiding our knot in that bead. We're going to bring it through. This is why you do it on the end, because sometimes it gets all ravelly. And we want that in the end and not in the middle of our project. All right, we got it hidden. You cannot see that knot anymore. See, the knot is gone. We're going to get rid of some of this white here with this piece, but that one there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get all these beads out of the way. I'm going to grab my scissors that I can get in really close with, and we're going to cut that off. Okay, this is where our torch burner comes into play. And just singe that tip. And get him in there. There we go. We got half of it done. Now we want to get this other half done. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go through this center bead here. Grab a hold of my piece of cord. We're going to pull it through one bead. We're going to pull everything really tight. There we go. We are going to wrap around our finger a loop and around the beads. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're staying in the bead that you're wanting to go around. Don't go down here and cross over the bead. Make sure you're staying up here. And sometimes you just have to use your fingers to kind of hold everything in place. And then we are going to pull this down. I'm going to grab my pliers. I'm going to pull that tight. There we go. He's tight now. I am going to go into the next bead the opposite way towards the cord. Put that cord in here. We're going to pull this down. I'm going to grab my pliers and pull on it, and that put my knot inside this bead here by doing that. I'm going to fold everything over. We're going to cut off my extra of that. There we go. Going to take our torch, and we are going to, if we can get to it without trying to burn ourselves, This is the hard part because you're dealing with so much. There we go. Let's go this way. There we go. We got it. We singed that end and he went in. And that, after, yeah, get it all situated, is our star. So it's really starting out with a circle of 10 beads, tying it, and then every other bead, you add this in. And it's just 3 beads. So it is a total of 25 beads to make this. And that's it. I'm going to put you guys up, okay? You guys are crooked. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm just making sure you guys are straightish. So that is, I'm going to show it to you. So you do see some of the white cord on this. I couldn't figure out a way, in all honesty, every time I tried this, to not see the cord in there. But I still think this is a darn cool idea. I will tell you guys and gals, I did not see a description on how to do this with the silicone beads. So I can't give credit like I said I've got somebody's idea or I saw this on this channel, you know, that type of thing. And I literally have tried multiple ways to try to get this created and finally came up with what I just showed you. This is like try 6 or 7 to get these to be like this. But I think it's kind of cool. And I mean, I know we can do it as a keychain, but I'm thinking also you can do it to match. Like I used to take my computer bag to work. I could put this on the computer bag. I don't need this part here unless I want to attach my ID badge to it so that at the end of the day, I got my ID badge on here, it's decorative, and I have something on my computer bag. I mean, it's just an idea of how to use these other than just as it. There, yep. Somebody over on TikTok said Miami Dolphins when you put these two together. It's just the beads that were really close when I was grabbing beads. Part of why I was late is, you know, I said why I was running late, but I also didn't have beads up here. I had the tools out, but I didn't have, and so I just literally grabbed, I was thinking I want a blue bag or blue beads, grabbed the closest blue beads to me and I brought it up. I did bring one up that didn't have enough beads. I was going to bring that one up and I'm like, there's not enough beads. Switch it out. But one of the things you can think about when you do this is you could have the center part of the circle be one color. So that would be 10 beads of color A. You could have the points of the star be color B and you just need 15 of that one. And, or, you know what, you could do prints in there and then have an accent. You know, you can do whatever you want. But I just wanted to share with you guys how I came up with that. Well, hello, Rainbow. So that's why I wanted to do this. It wasn't anything more than I wanted to take an idea that I had not seen before and make it into something. You know, our quote for this week, we talked about that the essence of creativity is being able to accept failure, because I failed multiple times at trying to get this together. But I didn't let it stop me. I just sat back and I thought about it again and again and again. Hi, Mia. And that's how we ended up coming up with these. I'm trying to figure out, there we go, if I stack them this way, because our cameras are side by side, and I've been sitting here the whole time when I'm holding them this way going, it's not right. You can't see both of them very well. But if I do it this way, there we go. I know. And so what I want to tell you guys also is that every tutorial that I do when I'm live, I do save them out on YouTube. So if there was something that you guys, when we were doing this, that you're like, I don't remember when you go to try to do this, please just go out to YouTube. It is CarolJo's LLC. Here on TikTok, if you go to my bio, there is a line in there that says lemonade. You go to that, touch it, and down below 2 boxes pop up. The one that says tree, touch that, and then a whole list comes up. That is links to my website. One's a special one for the deposit. The other one's my entire website. And then there's all of my social media. YouTube is all the way to the bottom. You can go ahead and follow me on YouTube, and then that way you can get in and turn on notifications anytime something's saved out there. But that is where you can watch the replay. I'm putting away tools there. You can also go ahead and like just follow me there. That'll get it there. I'm like, where was my train of thought going? I put away the tools and I lost it. That was bad of me. Sorry. But that's what you can do for all of our tutorials. All of the tutorials and all of the chats are always saved out on YouTube. But that is what, I know it wasn't a whole hour long today, but I'm thinking Ryan's phone is done. So I'm going to probably end a little early so we can go back and get his phone. Oh, tell Jamie hello. So we're going to probably run and go do that now before Buttercup. Okay, will you take pictures and like you can do, so if anybody does this tutorial, take pictures. You can, in TikTok, you can always add them to in the comments, but also on Facebook VIP, you can add them there and I can see what you guys create. So you have to go into the mentions. I got to do a video on how you can post to Facebook. It is really an odd duck way to do it. But I want to see what you guys do. And like I said, it was a trial and error. So if you guys get it right on the first time, I'm excited and I want to hear that. If it doesn't, that's okay too. And I want to hear that because we can all learn from each other. There is, if you go into it and you look at the VIP page, over to the side, there is 3 dots. If you touch the 3 dots, there is one that says, I believe, mention. If you touch that, then you can put a post. Why doesn't it just say post? But I got your pictures and those were so daggone cute. So Angela is making little accessories for Labubus. They are so cute. You're welcome. And it's just like, oh. So yeah, the Snicker one was cute. I was like, oh. So yes, you can accessorize your Labubus now. All right, everybody. I am going to drop so that we can probably go get Ryan's phone. So he's not without a phone because he has not had a phone in almost 24 hours. So I hope you all have a good night or a good afternoon, not night. Come back here on TikTok where we will do our bead sale tonight. You did. So everybody, I was going to say, holy buckets, you put Cookie in your name now. I was going to say it will be out on YouTube here very, very shortly, Geraldine. All right, everybody, 7 o'clock tonight, we have 25 items. We're keeping it short tonight because we have tomorrow at 10 a.m., we have another live with the bead sale. And there we're going to have the gorgonias. So between tonight and tomorrow, exciting things to see. So come on in and join us, all right? We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.